New media. The Green Party is standing for Westminster in 3 constituencies. It has no MPs but one MLA, Brian Wilson, in North Down. Stephen Agnew stood for the party in the Euro elections last year and he's with me now. You're very welcome to Hearts and Minds. We're on the verge of what some people are calling the most important election in a generation. You had a platform piece in the Belfast Telegraph last night and Brian Wilson wrote about hunting. Irrelevant or what?
I don't think it's irrelevant at all. I find it's, as we've already found from the consultation that we've put out, that it's an issue that people feel very vexed on both sides. So it's clearly very important to those people it matters to.
But not as important as the economy, employment, all those other issues that are right at the top of the list in this important election.
There's no reason to say why you can't have a hunting ban and still address those issues. And in fact, with our campaign for the Westminster election, the key to our campaign, unlike a lot of other parties who are going back to the old party rhetoric, we're focusing on job creation and how we can do that through investing in a new green economy and new technologies that we need to meet future challenges.
But you don't have the opportunity of a platform piece in the National Daily every week. And here you had your chance and you wasted it, some people would say.
That's some people's opinion. I've a chance now to talk about some other issues, if you'll let me. I mean, one of the things we'd like to see is a national insulation scheme, which would insulate hopefully every home in the UK, saving people fuel bills, saving our emissions, and reducing energy usage across the UK. That's the kind of thing that I'm on here today to talk about. And
do you not have a problem that we're all green now? I mean, every party has got environmentally friendly policies. What makes the Green Party stand out?
We're all talking green, but some of us are living green, and that's a different matter. And some of us have green politics. The other parties do talk a good game, but actually when it comes to it, look, for example, at the issue of the Environmental Protection Agency, that all parties bar one said they supported, but when it came to the executive in the Assembly, they said, no, we don't want the Environmental Protection Agency. We said, we want to challenge this decision. Surely those other parties on the executive will want to challenge this. They said, no, we're happy for the Minister to make the choice. So, clearly those parties talked green before the election, got elected, but actually haven't delivered. We will deliver on green issues.
Again, you made your first breakthrough at council level in 2005. Then, of course, you got the MLA, which was a big breakthrough for you. And you tripled your vote, the party's vote, in the European elections. But we're still talking tiny percentages here, 1-point-something% of the people voting for you. You're not making the big breakthrough.
Well, the first big breakthrough, as you say, was getting the councillors in, getting Brian elected. European elections, there's only 3 candidates ultimately get elected, and obviously 3 of the bigger parties took those seats. What we're doing is growing as a party. We've grown every election since the Good Friday Agreement. We're continuing to grow. In fact, a number of polls suggest that the Greens are going to get their first MP seats, which will be the next big breakthrough the Greens make. We're continuing to make breakthroughs, and we will continue to make breakthroughs.
But the Greens elsewhere make more headway. I mean, there's something like, 46 Green seats in the European Parliament, for example. I mean, why are we so far behind here?
Well, I mean, I'm sure you know better than the rest of us the amount you've reported on the issues of Northern Ireland. It's been a long time before we were able to get these issues on the table. We are now getting to talk about issues such as climate change, such as environmental protection, such as energy efficiency and renewable energy. But that is a big change from where we come from. The Green Party was set up in the 80s. Very difficult to talk about green issues when there was bombs in Belfast. But now things have moved on. We're dealing with real everyday politics. We're dealing with the fact that we are facing a future where oil is running out and we need to switch to new technologies. We've got directives from Europe saying we must do that. So what we're saying is the Green Party as well, let's benefit from this in Northern Ireland. We've got engineering skills, we've got manufacturing skills. Let's be the one to create these new technologies, create jobs for our local people, as well improving the lives of the people in their homes.
I can see when you're on the doorsteps campaigning for the Environmental Protection Agency, for alternative energy, for a nuclear-free Northern Ireland, for a GM-free Northern Ireland, and people saying, yes, that's all wonderful, we all support that, but come election day, they'll vote for the parties they've always voted for.
What we're being told is, people are fed up with the politicians they've had. They've seen the expenses scandal. In fact, they've seen how close that some of their politicians are getting to businessmen, and they're acting, the politicians are now being seen to be acting on behalf of the businessmen and not the people. Now, where the Green Party is different is we don't accept corporate donations. We don't accept donations from businessmen. That means that we keep a level of independence. Of course, we can be lobbied by those people, but we'll make the decisions based on whether their arguments are sound, whether the development they want to put up is a sound development and right for the community, because we'll listen to the people on the ground as well. And once those people start funding your party, you will not listen to the people on the ground. You'll listen to the people paying you the money. And that's where the Green Party is different.
But politics is an expensive business. Running a campaign, for example, requires money. How are you funding yours?
We're funding ours by our own hard graft, our own fundraising, and our members donating out of their own pockets. And they believe in the principles that we stand for, and that's why they'll put money towards us, not because they want us to do a favour once we get elected.
What would you count as success in this election? I know you'll say 3 seats, but I mean, let's be realistically, what would you count as success?
We're continuing to grow. I mean, we are asking people to come out and vote for the Green Party. You know, that's why we're standing for the election. If you want to see the status quo, the politicians who've been, you know, benefiting off public money for the reasons of Green, then fine, vote the way you've always voted. But if you actually want to see a change, you want to see something different, vote for the Green Party, because you can't trust the people who are currently in to reform the system that they've been benefiting from.
Stephen Agnew, thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.
That's where we